Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. This is just a very quick video, a bit of a project share, and I know I'm not putting on as many videos as I would like, but it's getting close to, well, winter. We have autumn now here in Australia, and the weather is just starting to not be in the 40s, it's more in the 30s, so I've got lots of work to do in the garden. Once it cools down and it's freezing cold out there, I usually stay indoors and craft, so that's when my crafting comes in. On the weekend, I'm going to have a long weekend all by myself. Hubby's going down, getting a lift, hitching a ride with a cousin. He's going down on his own, and he's going to drop hubby off at his brother's place, so he's going to stay there for 4 days, which gives me time to craft till my heart's content. So of course I'm making another grunge journal. It's not going to be like a really heavy grunge, but it's going to be a nice grunge, and I'm going to call it The Lady in Green. And this little piece of pale mint, beautiful fabric, I think this is the only piece I have left, inspired me. So from that I've been making some envelopes, and I did share this on my Instagram and also on the Facebook page, Junk Journal Junksters Down Under, and a couple of other groups that I belong to. This is actually two book pages of a large dictionary that I glued together, and I did a gesso over the top and really made it. I just lost myself in it, I think. This is a fussy cut out, a botanical plant, and that green just sort of, I did that first, just plonked it on there, and that sort of gave me, the way how I want it to look. Got a bit of corrugated cardboard just here. This is a fabric butterfly, the same with this. Bit of scrap lace and some cheesecloth, and just a little tag there saying journey. I sort of highlighted the edge and inside the veins of the leaves a little bit, and I done the same on here. Okay. This one, just let me think now. No, this was a napkin, and this was a napkin, and that was a piece of napkin, and this was just a fussy cutout. That's right. And another little cloth butterfly just there. I stitched right around it. It took a couple of days to dry because, it's quite solid now, so which I really like. And of course I did a bit of stenciling, and I had some acrylic gold paint, and I just smudged it over the edges a little bit. And I used a little number cutout from my Tim Holtz pad as a closure. Okay, so with that I've made this little booklet, and as well it's from quite a few book pages. I did a whole stack last year, and I think I did about 4 or 5 to get it really solid like cardboard, to use up a lot of my dictionary pages. And here's a little tuck spot that you can pop something in. Okay. I just used some scrap paper. This is a bit of wax paper. This is actually was a bag, and it's really nice paper to write on. And then of course on the back I've made another little tuck spot as well. Tea bag. Here's a piece of that napkin, and I had this butterfly, I think it was some Happy Mail early last year, with a bit of glitter on it, and a little fussy cut this little girl. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I sewed the signature in with a 3-stitch pamphlet stitch with a bit of pink ribbon. So it's pretty basic, because I wanted to make sure it stayed flat. And here I've put on one of my skins, and you can actually journal on this, okay? You can write on this. So I thought, well, this whole blank part is it's a waste. I thought if I put a strip of that on, you can actually write on that as well. So that's one of the things. So of course everything is green now, and I think I might have shared this little booklet once before, but I've actually put a little fussy cut out little plant on there, and I've just made this little booklet from coffee dyed paper, some book pages, a little pocket for your tag. This is a clothing tag that's been altered, Miller's clothing tag, and just snippets of paper. This was a really old book, and I just like the print on that. And I've just put some letters on from the Tim Holtz pad, love, and a little index flip out, and a little flip down, and you've got another little pocket that you can journal on, okay? And this ledger paper, piece of ledger paper that I photocopied, has actually some doodling on there, so I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, so that's that little booklet, and I'll probably put a little eyelet in here in this tag, and put a little bit of twine on there. So that's that one. And then I went really mad, and I used some baking paper, and it's this one here that you can get now, which of course is already brown, and I thought I'd give it a go. So I was just meant to be a corner tuck, but I got a bit carried away. So what I did was, it was just like this, and what I done was I actually folded it over to make the tuck spot here. Then I folded the corner over to make a little tuck spot here, and then as the bag is open there, that's going to be a tuck spot. And I've popped some napkin on the edge of that so that you can see it, and just on the front. And this is just some wrapping paper, really grunged up. You can write on it, and put a beautiful snippets of a piece of bar cloth, some scrunched up paper flowers, a bit of lace, and a little cutout, fussy cutout, and that just goes on the back. And then here I've made a little notepad, and the beauty about this is you can always refill it. It's another piece of the bar cloth, and this was from an envelope, come from the States, and I've kept it for quite a while because of the stamp. So I've just cut it and put a paper clip, and I'll probably have a little piece of twine coming off that yet, I'm not sure. But then I just use my packaging paper, okay, and then you can just pop it underneath. And if you have other papers, you can just pop them in. If they're full, you can pop a new lot of papers in. So you can always, you know, it's always reusable. You can put it on the top of a page. Excuse me. In this case, I've just popped it on here, and it just clips on here, so it's not going to go anywhere. Popped on a little bit of doily edging. And here I had some, like a cardstock. It had 4 different panels on it. So I cut them out after they were coffee dyed, popped on a piece of that napkin on here, a little bit of, made a little bow from this eyelash trim. This is from another napkin, had a key on it, so I, you know, tore the key out and just popped it on there. You can journal on it, and this as well has a little tuck spot, so you can pop something in there. And that just sits really neat just in there, okay? So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, this one is made from baking paper. And what I've done with this is I gessoed it as well. Then I inked it, and I folded the corners over to make it look like a collar. Here is my flowers that I fussy cut out from wrapping paper, and I scrunched them up and then just inked them. This is a paper butterfly, put some of my ribbon lace trim here with some cheesecloth. But inside I had a bit of pink tulle left. I've just crunched up some tulle and put that on the back, just to, you know, keep it a bit more firm and just a bit of interest. And here I've made a little paper pad from an envelope. This is a yellow paper bag, I should say, these ones. And I'll just tore it up to make little pages, some coffee dyed pages. A couple of punched some holes and put some of the tulle fabric, made it into a ribbon that just sits in there nice and flat. And as I folded it up, because I made it quite long because I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, I've actually then created a couple of pockets, and I've just popped a journaling card in the back here, and then on the front, because it was I just cut the edge off. Once I folded the bottom of the envelope, I cut the edge off, giving me then tucking the first part over to make it look like a little collar, and then the other part is here giving me another pocket. Okay, and I've just popped on some tags in there. And this is just a little fabric snippet with some dictionary paper and some music paper. Did a bit of stamping, a bit of cheesecloth, and I did a bit of not stamping, yes, well, you know what I mean. I've just totally lost it now. And I made some corners from the foil that you get off butter containers. There, you can have them in silver or gold. And here in Australia, it's from the Alauri butter containers, and I keep them. I've got a little stash here, and I use my 1-inch punch, or the bigger punch, but these ones were just 1-inch ones. Made circles to make little book corners, and I don't mind the print on that. I think it looks pretty cool. And then what I done was with this bag, because I really just didn't want to put it on the page, because I don't even know whether it's going to fit in this journal, because the journal's going to be a bit narrower, so that might not even work for me. But I glued it on a pile of book pages that I glued together last year, gessoed over it, inked it, so that you can, you know, jot some notes. It might just slip in the journal like this, so I'm not sure whether it'll fit. I might have to resize it in one way or another, but I'm not sure, or I'll just leave it. So the journal, of course, the journal cover is the lady in green, and here's one of the paper dolls that I've had for so many years, and ever since I think I started with my shabby chic. So I'll just show you what I mean. This is one of them that I made quite a while ago, and I'm not sure if you can see it. If I maybe put it down like that, you might be able to see it. Maybe if I go out. That's it. Okay, so she's quite long, and it's just, I've just printed that out on some cardstock, and wanted to make, you know, quite long paper dolls. But that's as far as I got with this one. So I've had a few left over, and this is I think the second last one. I've got another couple. So as you can see, I've already knew a few weeks ago that I'm going to make a journal lady in green somehow. I wasn't sure how, what style, but when I found this, I thought, well, yes, it's going to be lady in green. I used some vellum paper that was gifted to me, okay, and I've popped her on here. And then I had some cardstock that was gifted to me, and the back of it is this one, just so that you can see some of the little polka dots peeking through. So it's probably going to be cut off, you know, it's not going to stay this is just probably going to be extra, but I'm not sure. I'll probably do something like this. And yeah, so it's not finished. It's still going to have a couple of more layers, and it's going to have probably a little bit of pink, and the green, I just like it, and the browns in it. So it should work out pretty well, because I used the pink in here, and I used, you know, the pink is in here in this green, so I thought, yep. And the cover, of course, is a padded postage bag, and hubby keeps these for me because he knows that I like to make something out of it. So my thoughts were, I've already stitched right around it, you know, it's going to be like a slim journal. And while I've got it, I'm just going to say, and it's probably not going to work now. It might, because I'm going to have pages peeking out, because it's going to be grungy. They're going to be, pages are going to be torn out. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet. Whether I'll have it sort of folded over and make it look as though it's just sort of, you know, scrunched up here. But yeah, so I've made this before. Unless I find a bigger one, I can probably use it. But yes, so Lady in Green is going to be my next project. So I just thought I'd quickly come on here and share it with you. Let me know of your thoughts. I'm always very interested in what you crafters think. I've learned so much from everyone at this point of time. So, and it's all about sharing, isn't it? So I've got such a big mess here. So yeah, so anyway, if you want to see the mess, let's see if I can get it. So, see, all the mess. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.